Hello everyone and welcome to part 6 of section 1 of the complete Python 3 course. Now, if you remember from the last video, we discussed dictionaries, and dictionaries were nothing but especially for key value pairing we had a dictionary. So if you want to make pairs that has a key and value, so we have dictionaries for that. And now in this video, I said in the last video that we were going to discuss tuples in the next video. So next video refers to this video, but instead of just discussing tuples, we're going to discuss tuples and sets, because both of them are very small and concise topics, so they're not very big. So we're going to discuss both of them in this video. So first of all, let's see what are tuples. Okay, now if you remember from the video of lists were just simply collection of different type or same types of data structures or data types. So tuples are something like lists. They're very similar to lists. So let me give you an example of list. So if I say my list is equal to, and by square brackets we make a list, and 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so this is list, and we have this list of 5 numbers, 1 2 3 4 5. Now what are tuples? Tuples are similar to lists, but they have quite a bit changes. So let me give you the hints, or let me tell you the changes. So here you can see I have the option tuple, but I can't assign this as a variable because this will be then giving me an error. So better not to assign variables that are built in. Like tuple is a built-in name, so don't use it as a variable. So if I just say tup is equal to, and notice we make lists with square brackets like this, but tuples are made with round brackets or braces. Okay, now let's see how do we use tuples and how is it different from a list. Now if I just print tup and run this program, look, I have the exact same tuple for me coming out. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. Now what is the difference between lists and tuples, and where should we use both of them? Like what are the cases that we use, like we have to use lists, and what are the cases that a tuple is the best choice to use? Now let me give you an instance that if we make a list of something, we can iterate over it. Means we can change something in it. Like if I say tup 0 is equal to 2, and then I print tup, this is no more a tuple, this is a list. So now if I print tup and run this, look, 1 has been changed to 2. So I said that grab the 0th element of the 0th index in this tup, which is a list currently, and change it to 2, whatever it is, just change it to 2, and it changed 1 to 2. But if this was a tuple, if this was not a list, and this is how we this is how we differentiate lists and tuples by visually, that tuples are made with round brackets and lists are made with square brackets. Okay, so if this was a tuple and I did the same exact thing for a tuple and have run this program, look, it gives me an error, type error. Okay, tuple, let's say tuple object does not support item assignment. What they mean is tuple is a kind of an object that you can't reassign it, or item assignment. So we're assigning an item. Item assignment is not supported with tuples. So this is a main difference between tuples and lists. So the best cases to use both of them is when there are cases when we want to store data but we don't want to change it even accidentally afterwards in the program. So in that case, tuples are the best choice. So sometimes you accidentally change something in your list, and that causes you a big error, or the program goes like opposite your expectations, and it's nothing like your expectations. So in that case, tuples are your best buddies and they're your best solution for solving that problem. Now that we've discussed that how to make tuples, how to why are they different from lists, and how to use them in certain cases, now let me just give a quick instance of with some methods, like one method with tuple. So there's a very quick method. It's not the only method with tuple. You can check out a lot. Okay, so if I just say tup is equal to and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. Now if I just say tup dot, so there are a lot of functions. Look, a lot. But we're not going to use everything because these certain things are related to object-oriented programming, and they're not like for beginners right now, so they're not like so often used, so just don't worry about them. The main function we use is dot count. So if I just say print tup dot count, and I assign 2 in here, okay, and just run this program. 1. So what did I do here? You might be confused. What I said to tuple is print. What I said to Python, that print the numbers, count the instances of 2 that have been in this tuple. Count how many times have 2 come in this list. In this tuple, okay? So when I say tup.count 2, it says me 1. It only came one time, and it's correct. It only came one time. But if I just say 2 one more time and then run this program again, it's going to give me 2 because 2 came 2 times. So this is a very useful function with tuple, and I think this is the only main function you have to remember. And in other cases, you can go to Stack Overflow or python.org documents if you want to, if you're curious about more of these methods with tuple, so you can check them out. And by the way, they're not like for beginners, or they're not like that often used, so I'm just giving you the quick instance of tuples. Now we can use iteration type of stuff like we used for list to grab elements. So what I mean by that, 1 2 3 4 5. So if you remember from list, we just said the name of the list, the variable, and we just one or something, we just assign the pass in the index position. Let me tell you what I mean by that. So if I just say print tup tup 0 and run this program, it's working. It's giving me the element in the output that is, oops, our PyCharm just closed. What happened? Let's check again. I don't know what happened, but it closed. It's gonna reload. Okay, anyway, yeah. So what we were doing is that we were counting how many times, like we were grabbing a certain element. So if I run this program, look, I get 1. So it's giving me the element that's on the 0th index position. Look, 1 is on the 0th index position, and I just say print this element that's in the 0th index position of 2. You can use this method for grabbing or like grabbing an element, but you can use this for reassigning or changing an element. Now that we've discussed tuples, very short topic, nothing to remember, just have a simple concept that tuples are just like lists. Visually, they're made with round brackets, or these brackets, and lists are made with square brackets. And other changes are that they cannot be changed, whereas the lists are mutable. We can change them. We can mutable or immutable, but lists can be changed, but tuples cannot. So if you are looking for something that you don't accidentally change in it, change something in it later on in your program, tuples are the way to go. Okay, now let's discuss lists. Sets. So sets, tuples, lists, They all are collection of data, okay? They're nothing so special. List was used in all type of forms. Lists, we can change lists, we can reassign items in list, and tuples were nothing, were like lists, but they cannot be changed, and they were like a bit different from list visually and also in programming. Sets are, very unique. And the mathematical definition of sets is that set is a collection of unique elements. So what they mean by that? If I just say S is equal to, and notice like dictionaries, we make sets with these curly braces. So if I just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I print S and run this, look, I get a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And look, how do I define it's a set? Just take a look. If I just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I mean 5, 5, and run this, notice what happened. It didn't give me the last 5 at the end. Why? Because set is a collection of unique elements. And unique elements mean that that element does not repeat itself. It's only one and a single time in that collection. So 5 was twice. That's why it just removed this, because it's a collection of unique elements. Obviously it will remove this. And another way of just creating a set is like not so quite often used, but you can just just see it, and I don't think you're gonna use it quite often. And if I just say set.add2, I believe it's like that. Otherwise, just don't use this method. This is a bit of advanced or type of a method that, or in advanced programming, it's very much often used. So just get the clear concept of creating a set with curly braces, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and let me give it another 7, and let me give it another 2. And if I just say print S and run it, look, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't get this extra 7 or this extra 2. And one thing more about sets. Sets does not, it's not only a collection of unique elements, which mean you can't repeat an element. Set you don't, accept from a set that it will come in the order you made it. So never expect from a set that it will come in the exact same order the way you have assigned it. So if I just say 67, 72, 53, 100, 200, and 899, I'm not sure that it's gonna be jumbled up, but I don't think it's gonna come in the exact order. And I run it. Look, it did not follow the order. By order, what I mean that 67, 72, 53. Look, there is no 72 here. It's in the 4th index position. So never expect a set that it will return the way you've made it. Okay, so this was taught, the things necessarily used to discuss about tuples and sets. These were the core concepts, and the advanced stuff about tuples and sets will be discussed in the advanced section, and we don't quite often use it for basic programs, like tic-tac-toe and stuff. So advanced things in tuples and sets and lists, they're not quite often used. Logic, functions, and these type of things are used often. So that was it for this video. We discussed tuples. Tuples are like lists, tuples, and sets. They're a collection of data, but they're different in quite some areas. For example, tuple is you cannot change tuple. You cannot grab an element and reassign it. While in list, you can do that. In set, you don't have an element repeatedly. You always have an element one time, and if you have an element that is repeating in your set, Python will automatically remove it. And Another concept is that tuples visually are not created with curly brackets, they're created with round brackets, and sets are created with curly brackets, and lists, they're created with square brackets. So these are the a bit of core concepts, and we're going to jump a lot more in these concepts in the future. But that was it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video where we discuss comparison operators and if-else statements. So this was the core concept of list, tuples, sets. And if you haven't watched that video of list, make sure you check it out. That will be, go access the playlist of this course, and you'll get the access to every video of this playlist. And I'll link the previous video about dictionaries in description box down below, and I'll also link the whole playlist in the description box down below. So make sure you check it out, and I'll see you in the next video where we discuss comparison operators and if-else statements. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.